What if you could access an ancient secret, a tool used by kings and strategists to command calm in the middle of chaos? What if you could quiet the storm in your mind not in weeks or months, but in the next 90 seconds? Most people today live in a state of chronic, low-grade anxiety. Their minds are hijacked by headlines, by notifications, by the imagined judgments of others. They are reactive, not deliberate. Their inner state is dictated by the world outside. This is not a life of freedom. It is a form of servitude. The Stoics knew this 2,000 years ago. Seneca wrote, "We suffer more often in imagination than in reality." Your anxiety is not the result of your circumstances. It is the result of your interpretation of them and your body's undisciplined reaction. The hook today isn't some new age fad. It's a piece of battlefield technology for the mind, a technique for physiological control so potent that leaders under immense pressure relied upon it to maintain clarity. We're going to look at the figure of King David not as a religious icon, but as a case study, a man who faced war, betrayal, and the crushing weight of a kingdom. Men like him, men like the Emperor Marcus Aurelius, could not afford to be slaves to their emotions. They needed practical methods to command their inner state. Today, I am giving you one of their most powerful tools. It requires no equipment. It costs nothing. But it will give you back something priceless: control. This isn't about feeling good, it's about becoming effective. So if you are tired of being thrown about by the winds of circumstance, pay close attention. You are about to learn how to forge the first link in the chain of an unbreakable mind. To understand the power of this tool, you must first understand the battlefield on which it is deployed, your own mind and body. Let's take that historical archetype of a leader under pressure, King David. Here is a man constantly beset by external threats, armies at his borders, traitors in his court, even rebellion from his own son. The pressure is absolute. In that kind of environment, a reactive mind is a fatal liability. A moment of panic, a decision made from anger or fear, could cost him his kingdom and his life. How did he survive? The writings attributed to him, the Psalms, are often seen as prayers or poems. I see them as a form of mental training log. Phrases like "He restores my soul" or "I will fear no evil, for you are with me" are not just passive expressions of faith. They are active, deliberate declarations of a chosen mindset. They are the work of a man wrestling with his own internal chaos and actively choosing his response. This is the very essence of Stoic practice. It is the deliberate separation of what is happening outside of you from what you will allow to happen inside of you. This is the dichotomy of control. David could not control the approaching army, but he could absolutely control the breath in his lungs and the thoughts in his head. Ancient thinkers, whether a Hebrew king or a Roman emperor, understood this critical link intuitively. The body and mind are not separate. Your breath is the bridge between the two. It is the joystick for your nervous system. When you are anxious, your breathing becomes shallow and rapid, signaling to your brain that you are in danger. This creates a feedback loop. Fear creates rapid breathing, and rapid breathing creates more fear. To break the cycle, you don't argue with your thoughts. You seize control of the mechanism. You take command of your physiology. The specific operating procedure we are installing today is known in the modern world as the 4-7-8 method. It is simple, precise, and brutally effective. I call it an operating procedure because I want you to see it as a technical command, not a gentle suggestion. You are giving a direct order to your nervous system. Inhale for a count of 4. Hold for a count of 7. Exhale for a count of 8. That is the entire instruction. Its power lies in its rhythm. The extended exhale is the key. It stimulates the vagus nerve, which activates the parasympathetic nervous system, your body's built-in braking system. It tells the primitive, panicked part of your brain that the threat has passed. You are safe. You are in control. The ancient Hebrews practiced rhythmic breathing during meditation, and Roman Stoics practiced focusing their attention prososha on the body's functions to ground themselves in the present moment. This isn't new, it's just been forgotten. I remember a moment early in my career in tech. We were hours from a major product launch, and a catastrophic server failure cascaded through our entire system. Millions of dollars and my reputation were on the line. I felt that familiar cold dread in my stomach, the tightening in my chest, my mind starting to race toward disaster scenarios. I was useless in that state. I walked into a quiet office, closed the door, and forced myself to breathe. In for 4, hold for 7, out for 8. I did it 3 times. The panic didn't vanish, but its grip on me loosened. The mental noise subsided just enough for one clear, logical thought to emerge about how to triage the problem. We didn't solve the problem through panic, we solved it because I first reclaimed control of my own mind. That is power. Are you simply reacting to your life, or are you in command? Enough theory. Knowledge is only rumored to be power. The practice is where power is forged. I want you to do this with me now. Don't just watch, participate. Treat this as a drill. You are training a muscle, the muscle of self-regulation. Find a comfortable position. Sit upright in your chair, with your feet flat on the floor. This posture is not for relaxation, it is a posture of quiet. Command. Close your eyes or soften your gaze. Place one hand on your stomach. We will perform 4 cycles. First, exhale completely through your mouth. Make a gentle whooshing sound. Empty your lungs entirely. Now, close your mouth and inhale quietly through your nose to a mental count of 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Feel your stomach expand. Hold your breath for a count of 7. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. This is the moment of stillness, the pause between stimulus and response. Now, exhale completely through your mouth, making that whooshing sound, for a count of 8. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Push all the air out. Feel the tension leaving your body. That is 1 cycle. Let's do it again. Inhale through the nose. For seconds. Hold. 7 seconds. Exhale through the mouth. 8 seconds. Again. Inhale. For. Hold. 7. Exhale. 8. Last one. Make it your most deliberate. Inhale. Hold. Exhale.
Now just sit for a moment. Open your eyes. What do you notice? Don't look for a miracle. Look for a subtle shift. Is your heart rate a bit slower? Are your shoulders a little lower? Is the volume of your internal chatter turned down, even slightly? The world outside you did not change in those 2 minutes, but you did. You intervened. You demonstrated to yourself in a real and tangible way where the locus of control truly lies. Did you feel it? The quiet confidence that comes not from the world giving you peace, but from you creating it? A tool is only useful if it is deployed. A sword left on the wall is a decoration. A sword carried into battle is a weapon. This breathing technique is your weapon against your own reactive nature. You must learn to draw it at the right moments. Think of it strategically. Before a difficult conversation or an important meeting, the other person will likely be operating from a place of emotion, of ego. You will not. Take 2 minutes beforehand to perform this exercise. You are not doing it to calm down. You are doing it to sharpen your mind. You walk into that room with a physiological advantage, able to listen, think, and speak with deliberate clarity while they are being jerked around by their own nervous system. When you cannot sleep at night, your mind is often rehearsing future catastrophes or past grievances. This is useless. Your bed is for rest, not for fighting imaginary demons. Lying there, perform the 4, 7, 8 cycles. It's not a sleeping pill. It is a circuit breaker. It interrupts the runaway train of anxious thoughts and anchors you firmly in the physical reality of the present moment. The feeling of the sheets, the sound of your own breath. From that place of calm, rest can follow. The moment you feel anger or panic rising, this is the most crucial application. An insult from a colleague, a sudden piece of bad news, a traffic jam when you're late. You will feel that hot chemical surge. That is the moment to act. It is your emergency brake. Before you speak, before you react, you breathe. Inhale for 4, hold for 7, exhale for 8. Just 1 cycle can be enough to create the space between the stimulus and your response. And in that space lies your freedom, the freedom to choose who you are going to be. To build this into a habit, anchor it. My challenge to you is to stack it. For the next week, before your first sip of morning coffee or before you first look at your phone, perform 3 cycles. Train your mind before the world has a chance to corrupt it. Will you be the architect of your day or its victim? I have given you the theory and the technique. Now the work begins. An iron mind is not built by watching videos. It is forged in the crucible of consistent practice. So here is your task, your assignment. It is simple, but it is not easy. For the next 7 days, I want you to deploy this 4-7-8 breathing technique at least twice a day. Once in the morning, as we discussed, to set the tone for your day. Anchor it to an existing habit. The second time, I want you to use it tactically. Use it the moment you feel a surge of anxiety, frustration, or anger. Use it when the world attempts to hijack your inner state. Then, I want you to come back to this video and report your findings in the comments. But I don't want to hear vague statements like it was relaxing. That is the language of passive experience. I want a strategist's report. Tell me, in what specific situation did you use it? What was the internal chaos you were facing? And what was the outcome? Did it allow you to think more clearly? Did it prevent you from saying something you would regret? Did you reclaim a moment of control that would have otherwise been lost? This is about documenting your victories over your own reactive impulses. This is how fortitude is built, one deliberate breath at a time. This technique is but one tool in a vast arsenal for building your inner citadel. There are dozens of others. If you are serious about mastering your mind and are ready to learn more, let me know in your report. Show me you're doing the work, and I will show you the next step. We have come to the end of today's training. Let the core lesson settle in. True strength, true resilience is not found in a life free from problems. Chaos is the natural state of the world. Strength is the ability to maintain your internal peace, your logic, and your purpose in the midst of that chaos. It is the unwavering calm of the ship's captain steering through a hurricane. The storm rages, but his hand is steady on the wheel. Today, you learned how to steady your hand. You learned that the remote control for your mind is in your own lungs. The 4-7-8 breathing technique is not a trick, it is a profound exercise in self-mastery. It is a declaration that you will not be a slave to your fleeting emotions or your external circumstances. You are the commander of your inner citadel. Practice the drill I gave you. Forge this tool until it becomes an instinct. Because once you have gained a measure of control over your own physiology, you can then begin the even more important work of gaining control over your judgments, the very stories you tell yourself that are the ultimate source of your suffering. If you found value in this blueprint, if you are committed to the work of building an unbreakable mind, then subscribe and join this community. We are not here for fleeting motivation. We are here to do the hard work of self-transformation. We've begun to regulate your body. In our next session, we will begin to re-engineer your mind. Until then, practice deliberately. Stay strong.